Julia Child presents the Chicken Sisters. Miss Broiler, Miss Fryer, Miss Roaster, Miss Caponette, Miss Stewer, and old Madam Hen.
A lot of people may not know who Julia Child is, but she was called the French chef. And, you know, she started in television in the early 1960s, I believe. And it was a cooking show called The French Chef. And she basically showed recipes for French cooking. And it became so popular, she was one of the most famous television personalities of the late 60s.
You got to have developed what the French call je m'en foutisme, or I don't care what happens, the sky can fall and omelets can go all over the stove. I'm going to learn. I shall overcome. It's sort of woman's liberation and, I mean, everything like that. If you're not going to be ready to fail, you're not going to learn how to cook. That's what that little lecture is all about.
But we had her on the program, and again, this was, it was almost like science, because when you think of it, recipes are like science, putting this together and that together. It's a lesson. And she showed the children how to make cookless spaghetti sauce. It was a safe way to prepare something.
Now comes the fun. And then you can toss it and turn it in the dining room.
But we had the spaghetti. She had done the spaghetti already, but she made a sauce with olive oil and I forget the different ingredients, and it was so good.
This you put in as much cheese as you want. That's probably about a 2-inch square, I would
But
say.
again, it was showing children how that's creative too. Cooking can be creative too, and you can learn a lot from cooking, and a lot of people love it, and she loved cooking. You could tell.
I'm going to put a little bit more oil in. You can't really give proportions to this because you just add the oil as you need it.
And they made a movie about her life that starred Meryl Streep as Julia Child. She was very popular, and her cookbooks were on the #1 best-selling list. And but she was a lovely person, and so friendly, and quite funny too. She's since passed away, but her cookbooks still are bestsellers. One of the most famous cooks ever, the French chef, Julia Child.
I saw her putting all those things together. I wasn't sure I wanted to eat it, but when I tasted it, it was really good.